celebrating some of our most influential African American leaders from the nation of KAMBUF. Being a leader isn't always easy. It often requires you to overcome adversity, face challenges head on, and fight for what's right. In the celebration of Black History Month tonight, we are highlighting some of the most influential African American leaders who just did that, their greatest achievements. There was something to be learned from each and every one of these powerful agents of change, most notable of which their efforts to make the world a better place and take a stand against injustice, inequality, and adversity. These leaders have also had a significant impact in shaping the world we live in today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most well-known civil rights leaders. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and activist who fought against racial inequality. King was a prominent of nonviolence and peaceful protests. He was one of the founders of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, yes, the SCLC, which aims to achieve racial equality peacefully. He went down in history as a hero of one of the most influential leaders in the world, you see. And then we got Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was a civil rights activist in Alabama and the secretary of the Montgomery chapter of the National Association of Advancements of Colored People, the NAACP. Parks is known for her most refusal to give up her seat to a white man and on the bus of the Montgomery, Alabama, which inspired the Montgomery bus boycott hammer. And this boycott brought about the ruling by the Supreme Court that segregation on public buses had to stop. It was unconstitutional. Barack Obama was the 44th president of the United States and the very first African American president. He served 2 terms and made several noteworthy accomplishments. Obama worked to strengthen the economy during the global financial crisis, championed healthcare, reformed in the passage of the Affordable Care Act, and won the Nobel Peace Prize, as a matter of fact, in 2009 for his efforts to improve international relations, just to name a few. Frederick Douglass taught himself to read and write at a young age. After escaping slavery, he became an author, a public speaker, and a prominent leader of the abolitionist movement. In addition to his abolitionary work, Douglass also supported and advocated women's rights. Oprah Winfrey is a famous television producer and a personality, a philanthropist, of course, and an author. She is the first African American woman to have her own television production company. Winfrey worked to pass the National Child Protection Act and has contributed numerous nonprofits, organizations that support education and empowerment of women and children, you see. Harriet Tubman, a brave leader under the Underground Railroad movement. Harriet Tubman escaped from slavery and spent 11 years guiding other enslaved people to freedom through her Underground Railroads as a conductor. Tubman was also a spy, scout nurse, and a soldier during the Civil War for the Union Army. Medgar Evers was the World War II veteran civil rights leader. He was the NAACP's first field officer in Mississippi. He helped lead protests against the segregation of public primary schools, beaches, parks, and at the University of Mississippi. Evers also organized voters registration drives that started new by the NAACP chapter in Mississippi Rise. Jackie Robinson, also as a player in the Brooklyn Dodgers. Jackie Robinson was the first African American professional baseball player in the U.S. Major League Baseball season. After his retirement, Robinson was dedicated to civil rights activism and worked to raise money for the NAACP and the SCLC. Booker T. Washington, born into slavery, Booker T. Washington overcame many barriers and were blocking him from getting an education after his family gained freedom through the emancipation, the proclamation. There was no schools in his area. However, he did not let that stop him. Instead, he walked 500 miles to enroll the schools of the Hampton Institution. Washington excelled academically and became the first teacher and president at the Tuskegee Institution. In addition, he was the author and advisor to several presidents and one of the most influential African Americans public speakers of his day. You see, Shirley Chisholm, the first African American woman elected to serve in Congress in 1968. Shirley Chisholm was the first African American woman to seek U.S. presidential nominations from the major party. She co-founded the Congressional Black Caucus, which is designated to guarantee equal rights, opportunities, and access for African Americans and other main marginalized groups. You see, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was one of the greatest professional boxers of all time. He was an Olympic gold medalist in his first fight to win the world heavyweight title 3 times. He was also a philanthropist, a humanitarian, an activist that advocated for civil rights and religious freedom. Ali earned the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005 and supported organizations like the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the Special Olympics. What diversity means to us at the NSLC, at the National Society of Leadership and Success, we're wholehearted, believe that the fact, and there is strength in diversity, as a matter of fact, and it's the mission to celebrate it. We stand against discrimination, and we are committed to uphold the standards of the members, employees, and higher educated communities. We strive to build better leaders and foster a community of success-oriented students that have a desire to make a positive impact. Blast. We know that everyone is capable of inspiring change around them and being a part of the leadership program like the NSLS can help you do that. Learn more about our organization, stance on diversity, and how you can make an impact. Articles and information celebrating some of the most influential African American leaders. This was written back February 2 of 2022. This is King KAMBUF, 100 proof, bringing you nothing but the fucking truth.